Hi everyone. So today I'll be talking about exception handling and retry mechanism. This is the structure of the presentation. Firstly, I'd be going through exception handling and retry mechanism approach. Then we would go to the control room to build the bot and run it. So exception handling concept, why it is important. For any bot code, it is very important to handle exceptions appropriately. At least the exception should be logged, what error has occurred, and take a screenshot, unless there is some personally identifiable data that company doesn't want to capture. If we need to continue processing further records, or if we want to exit gracefully, that is very important to know, and exception handling helps with that. And if you want to know if we need to send any notification to the support and business team to take appropriate steps, exception handling comes handy at that time. The second is try catch finally structure. So it's similar to any major programming language. It has try catch finally structure. So try is the section which has the bot code where the error can occur. Catch is what you do when error has occurred. Finally is what you do when there is an error or there is no error. Finally will always be called. So one more thing also I want to go through is the two important data points. One is the error message and other is the error line number. The error message captures one or a couple of lines of error message that has happened, and error line number will tell you the exact line where error has occurred. This will be used to help navigate the bot, and this is very important if we need to continue processing further records or if we want to exit gracefully after sending notification to support a business team to take appropriate steps. Then the retry mechanism concept. So firstly is why you need to retry and how you need to retry. So why you need to retry is that sometimes error are intermittent. If you do the same thing again, error would not occur. You may not exactly know what has happened. So one of the strategy is to have few retries. Suppose the website you are working with suddenly crashed or is not loading. Then you would again go to the website. It would work fine. You would not want to crash and exit. So it is more preferred to have a bot to have tried few times before giving up. So how you do the retry? Ideally, we use a loop around try catch. So if an error has occurred, it will happen in try, and caught in catch statement, we can check what attempt of the loop bot is making. Suppose we want to retry 3 times, we can check if the bot has retried that many number of times and exit. So let's create an exception handling bot. We are in control room right now. Handling bot. So we are here demonstrating the exception handling. So what I'll do is I'll take an URL which I've used earlier for some other demo. Let me take this URL. So we will use this to log into a website. Firstly, I'll demonstrate the login to this one, and then I'll throw in error, and then we'll see how error handling works, and then we'll have a retry on this website. I kept this open. Let me go back to my bot, and I'm using IE for building the bot and Chrome for running the bot, because while retrying the bot or retrying the login again and again, we'll close the Chrome browser. I don't want to close the whole browser, so I kept two separate. Let's go to the list view, and I'm reading the URL from a file, because when I want to retry, I want to make sure it's the wrong URL. So when the URL is open, it throws an error, but next time we change the URL to correct one and it tries, it does the right thing. So let me drag and import from string. So let's do this, and let's point to the file that we have. So I'll go to bot files, exception handling, URL So this will, what happens in import string from text file, it fetches the file, and based on the key you can get what's the value inside. So I'll create a variable and I will name it pstr URL. With that, map this one. So this will have the value of the URL that we're trying to open. Now let's do some recorder capture. So I should go to actions, and so let me expand it. Pop-up always disturbs. Recorder, and I'll drag one for username, one for password, one for login. So let's do go to application, refresh Windows, point to this one, and then capture the username. Now let's do set text. And if you have seen my video on credentials, you can see how we can create credential lock and map that, and be using the same credentials here. Let's say credential, sample locker, sample credential username, and then I'll capture the password. Do the same, capture object, point it to password, gather that, and set text. Pick the credential, sample locker, sample credential, password. Good. Now I'll do the click on the login button. Select click. Okay. So I'm importing the URL, putting username, password, and the login button. I need to open the URL first, so let me drag browser open, and I'll open the URL. I'll click here, paste your URL, save it. Let me close this just to see if this code works. I'm running this port. Download dependencies, should open the URL, put username, password, and login. So this works fine. Okay, so now we'll do exception handling. The scenario is, let's assume the website we are going is down. I'm just mimicking that by just changing the URL to something else. I do that. So when bot runs, it will fail. So let's go back to IE. So if I run the bot now, it will try to open the URL, but this URL is obviously wrong, so it will fail. If you see, it opened, but this URL is not correct. There is nothing. So when it goes to line where it tries to capture the username and password, it will not work, so this will fail. You see this error, cannot find the window because that's not open. So let's close it and add exception handling, so bot can gracefully exit or at least retry a few times before throwing the error. So what I'll do is, let me close that, and also should have closed this window. So I'll put this in try catch. I'll drag try and move all this inside try. Then as soon as, so if everything works fine, suppose bot reaches line 6, when I'll add a loop, I will add a breakpoint here. So let me just first go to the catch, and firstly what I need to do in the catch, let me first close the browser. So I mean, you can directly drag close browser. Sometimes that doesn't work. So typically I use application program to close the Chrome exe. So I'll select I'll use task kill, and then parameter will be post kill, no message, and kill chrome.exe. This will kill the Chrome browser. And then other thing is, I need to know what error has happened so that I can log that in. So I'll create few variables here. So I'll firstly create p str error message, and the other variable I'll create is p num error line number. Got these two variables. I'll use them to log. So also prepared a log video. It's not yet out. It will be coming soon. If it's out, you can watch in my YouTube channel. So what I'll do is, as soon as I get error, I'll close the browser and I'll retry the same thing again. So for retrying, I'll add a loop. So let's suppose I want to retry 3 times. I'll do it 3. You can change it, or you can make it as a global variable to make dynamic number of retries, but for now I just kept it at 3. So move it up. Now what happens? Suppose bot attempted 3 and still it fails. So what I'll do, I will log the message in the log and I'll just break the loop. And if it's less than 3, like first attempt, second or third, then I will log, but in first and second attempt I'll make additional tries till I make all 3 tries. So what I'll do is I'll check what number of retry I'm doing. So I'll drag if below this, and I'll do one more thing is I'll create a variable for the loop counter. I'll name it p num error line. I'll say retry loop counter, and it will be a number variable. Let's default it to 1. And then what I'll do is I'll check if retry loop counter is, let me search for number condition, and I'll select retry loop counter, and if it is greater than or equal to 3, what I'll do is I will log what's the error. Let me go to actions, search for task run. I'll run the log. So I'll choose a logger file that I have already prepared. As I mentioned, you can watch this in another video. So I'll choose this, and it expects 4 variables as input. So first is the bot name. So I'll select the bot name, and it will also have a path, a task name, then the log path. I'll show you. I'm planning to log to this folder. So logger, I'll use this path. Let me not open Chrome. I'll go back to Internet Explorer and put the path as this, and then I'll put the full path. It will be log.log. So this is the file where we'll be logging, and the level will be if an error happened. I'll say error, and the message will be error occurred at line number. And line number, I'll get from the variable that I got. So enum error line number dot, I'll convert that to string, error occurred at line number this, and error is, then I'll use the error message. Select that, error message. Okay, so when error occurs and it's greater than or equal to 3, I will log the message, and even if less than 3, I'll also log the message, but I will also break the loop here. I don't do retry, so I'll retry it 3 times. And I can also put here which retry attempt it is. So I'll just put before this retry attempt, and I'll use retry loop counter p num retry loop counter. Also convert this to string, so index is visible, number 2 string. Okay, so this is the message we will log. And if it is less than 3, then I'll have an else. So else sometimes doesn't work when you directly want to add from here. If you see, it doesn't work. So I'll go to flow view. I'll select this, go to flow view, and click else. Put else here. Go back. Then in the else, I will again log the same thing, but this time what I can do is I can just move this out here, so every time it comes here it logs the attempt, and if it's greater than or equal to 3 it breaks. Otherwise I'll just increment the counter to try again. I'll put increment here, and I'll select p num retry loop counter, and I'll come here, save it. Now you see what I'm doing is I'm looping it 3 times. Firstly, I'm grabbing the URL from a file, opening the URL, putting username, putting password, submitting it. If there's an error anywhere, then it will go to catch, where I'm mapping error message and line number. Then I'm closing the previously opened Chrome browser window, logging it, tell what attempt it is and what's the error message, and if it is greater than or equal to 3, so it has tried 3 times, I'll break it, else I will increase the loop counter and it will go back to retrying again. So let's run this bot. I'll also put a message box so that I can hold the bot here and you can see. So let's put the error message here so that you can see what attempt it's making and what's the error message. I'll paste it here. I will rerun the bot. Running the bot again will read from the file, the URL, and it will open the browser window, and it's stuck at line 5 because it's not able to find the window. You see now, let's say retry attempt 1, error occurred line 5, errors cannot find window. This one that was opened during the bot, it's not able to find the window. It hold there. Let me try once more. Close the window, opened again at line 5. It's trying to find the window that we had when we captured the controls. Just holding here again. I see retry attempt 2nd, error again encountered the same line, same error. What I'll do is now I'll fix the URL to be remove 1 from here, close this, save it, and this bot will make a 3rd attempt. You can see the browser page test, it's able to put the URL, it's able to submit it fine. So you've seen it's able to complete the bot without any issues. And then let's see what's logged in the error message or in the logs. Let's go back here. Go back to the logs. You see I made bot run 2 times. So first attempt error, 2nd attempt error, then again when I ran again, first attempt error, 2nd attempt error. You can also add success, failure, bot restarted. So as seen, exceptional handling is a very important concept. So anytime you have any bot code, you should wrap it in a try catch block so that bot can handle the exception carefully. Ideally, you can log and take a screenshot also. I hope this video would have helped you. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.